Jai Sri Mataji. Please look at the photograph of Sri Mataji and please bow down to the Sri Mataji. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, you are Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti. Mother, please grant us the permission to do the meditation at your lotus feet and please bless us thoughtless stand. Now slowly close your eyes. Our complete attention is on center of both the palms. Now please keep your right hand towards Mother Earth. Our complete attention is on center of left palm. Slowly move our attention from center of left palm towards the Sahasrara and from Sahasrara toward the center of right palm. Do this slowly 7 times. Now please keep your right hand on your lap and left hand toward the sky. Our complete attention is on center of right palm. Slowly move our attention toward the Sahasrara and from Sahasrara toward the center of left palm. Do this slowly 7 times. Now please keep your both the hands on your lap. Our complete attention is on center of both the palms and all the fingertips for a while. Now please keep your right hand on left side of your stomach below the abdomen. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Mother, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Now please keep your right hand on left side of your heart. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I am only pure spirit. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this ego. I am only pure spirit. I am only pure spirit. I am only pure spirit. Now please keep your right hand on your forehead. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I have forgiven everyone, including myself. I have forgiven everyone. Now please keep your right hand on your Sahasrara and slowly rotate your right palm clockwise 7 times on your Sahasrara. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, you are Sakshat Sri Adi Shakti. Mother, please awaken my Kundalini. Mother, please bless us thoughtless state. Now please keep your both hands on your lap. Our complete attention is on center of both the palms and Sahasrara. We will listen lecture of Sri Mataji.
In Switzerland, the coronation of Sri Rama on Dashera Day. Many things happened on Dashera Day. The most important was that Sri Rama was coronated as a king on this day. He also killed Ravana on this day. Many may say that how can it be he killed Ravana and he was coronated on the same date. In those days in India, we had supersonic aeroplanes. And it's a fact. And the aeroplane's name was Pushpak, meaning the flower. It was called as Pushpak, and it has a tremendous speed. So after killing Ravana, he came to Ayodhya with his wife, and that was the day he was crowned. On the 9th day, he worshipped the goddess to get strength, Shakti for his weapons, and the 10th day he killed Ravana. So you can imagine how much advanced people were there at the time of Sri Rama and his kingdom. The reason was the king was an incarnation. Also, he was a benevolent king, as described by Socrates. Sri Rama's story is very interesting throughout, and we have now a beautiful series about him done by our television in India, which is sold for a very good price. Maybe we might be able to present you all with one when you come there. But the story of Rama, they say, was written before he was born. Even before there was any inkling of it, the seer Valmiki wrote the whole story of Sri Rama. Sri Rama's birth and all that are brought forth by the Agni, the fire. And he was born in the dynasty of the Surya, is the sun. So with all that, born out of the blessings of the Agni, that is fire, and also was born in the dynasty of Surya. He was one of the mildest avataras you have ever had. He is known to be a very English language, formal person, in the sense, Sankoch, that he would go to any extent to bear upon himself the problems than to tell others to do something. We still had many people in India like that. Like we had one Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. And if he was sitting in the room and there are people sitting and this electricity was on somehow, say by light or something, and he wants to put it off, he would not ask anyone to put it off. Slowly he'll get up from his seat, walk up to the switch and just put it off, so that he shouldn't ask for it. This is one of the greatest quality of Sri Rama, that he would not make anyone do anything for him or order anything or would use someone for their purpose. See, he was the blessing of fire and born in the Surya. But what we find, those people who are born maybe in very lowly families, in the negative families, the left-sided as you can call it, with all kinds of problems, have a terrible Agya and a terrible Surya in them. The person who is born in the Surya has to be extremely humble. He is the one who shows that nothing can affect, nothing can make him feel that he is something great. Now, when we see his life further, he was a very humble man. We've seen now people who try to despise others. I don't like you. I don't like. It's not good. It's very difficult. It's a sign that such a person is extremely low in character. Has no character at all, but is low in character. Anybody who has any character is shown by the tolerance he has of other people. Intolerance is a sign of a person who is extremely egoistical and is vain, there's vanity. Sri Rama was so much loved by the people where he ruled in that state, and he had the most beautiful wife of the most venerated father Janaka, and who was the beloved son of his father. But he was such an humble man, that in all his character you see the beauty. Like he was going by a little boat when he went for his exile. And the one who was taking him was an ordinary boatman. And the boatman was feeling very much upset that he's sitting before the king of Ayodhya and he doesn't have proper clothes. So Sri Rama, who was himself was wearing nothing but valkalas, are the clothes which are worn by the village people or worn by the people who live in the primitive areas, only kind of leaves that they have. He had to wear that because his mother, the stepmother, asked for that kind of a boon from the father. And then Sri Rama just told him, "Why are you worried? I'm wearing this, I'm no more a king. I'm sitting before you like this. You should be quite comforted. And I really don't know how to steer the boat, while you know how to steer the boat. So why should you be worried?" Like that, he kept even the people who we would call as low in society at a very high pedestal. Which shows that he respected human beings. He himself is called as Maryada Purushottama. Means he was the one who knew how far to go with someone, Maryada. How to talk to someone. How to approach someone. While we find people who misbehave, even with their husbands, with their wives, with their children, with everyone, and also outside they are about to jump on others. That's absolutely against Rama. It's like Ravana. Even Ravana was not like this. He was also of not that nature. Because he had certain dharmas within him. He was a realized soul, but he had become a Rakshasa because he became arrogant. But even his arrogance cannot be matched with many modern people and modern girls and men that I hear and see, that it is surprising they have really surpassed Ravana. Ravana only had 10 heads, but sometimes I feel that the modern men might have, or the women especially, might have 108 heads. The arrogance, the amount of expression of hatred is so ridiculous and makes a person look so useless. But I see such people very common, and in Sahaja Yoga also they crawl somehow. Actually, such people are absolutely despised by God Almighty. You go further with his life. See, he went into the village where a very old woman who was belonging to the primitive class of Bhils, had very few teeth, and she brought some fruits, little fruits we call as pear. And she brought and gave it to him, that Sri Ram, you see, I have got these for you. I don't have anything else. And these, I've tested all of them. Actually in India, if you put in the mouth, it is uttishta. Nobody will touch it. But she says, I have tested all of them by piercing my teeth into it, and I have seen that none of them are sour. Sri Rama didn't like sour fruits, she knew. So none of them are sour, and you can have them. I mean, in a way, if it is done to somebody in the West, they will hit you hard. Immediately, Sri Rama rushed forward and took the beads from her hand, kissed her hands, said, all right, I'm going to have them. With such enthusiasm, he ate them. So Lakshmana was a little angry.
Now slowly open your eyes. Look at the photograph of Sri Mataji. And please bow down to the Sri Mataji. Jai Sri Mataji.